Another family meeting was had this morning amongst the housemates. Yeah. Now, unlike the one of last night that had the agenda of people speaking their mind as orchestrated by Papa Ghost, this one was called on by circumstance. Yes, Biggie had instructed the housemates to go to the garden, yes, and close the front doors. And so Mitch, the head of house, had leveraged on that opportunity to begin to lay blames on people he felt were responsible for them losing their wager for the week. Yes, their first wager of the season for that matter. Now, it was a very interesting conversation as some people that did not really get to unbottle their feelings last night decided to capitalize on that opportunity to speak more. Yes. And then a new female rivalry was birthed. And guys, oh my God, this one is quite exciting for me because it has to do with Yolanda again. Remember, Yolanda is already on two rivalries. Yes, one with Lerato and the other with Papa Ghost, who are actually best friends. And now this morning, there was the birth of another one with Pale of all people. Guys, very interesting conversation. So make sure you watch to the end of this video because there's a lot to tell you. I mean, guys, listen, you don't want to miss out on this one. So please make sure you watch to the end of this video. Do not skip out so that you do not miss out on anything. All right. And you are all specially welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Gloria Elijah. This is Frankly Speaking with Gloria Elijah. And I am the girl with the T. Two announcements. The first is a quick reminder about our live conversation that's set to happen on this channel, on this space, tomorrow, Saturday, by 3 p.m. WAT. Guys, it's only been 5 days. Tomorrow is going to make it the official day 6 of the show. And a lot has happened. A lot. And I really want to have a conversation with all of you. So please make sure you join tomorrow. Do not miss out. All right. Now, the second thing is I really want to apologize to all of you for not dishing out more videos as I would love to. All right. I know you guys are used to me posting a lot of videos daily, especially during a Big Brother season. But this time around, there's a lot of constraints. And I'm sure you all know already. The show does not air in Nigeria, so I have to do a lot to be able to even watch the show for a start, not to even talk of keeping up with the show as regularly as I would love to, right? And then there's also my network connection constraints. There's a lot of load on my connection at the moment, guys. It's a lot, and I hate complaining about things like this to all of you, but I've seen some of you, you know, putting in requests in my comment section. Oh, Glory, please pump out more videos. Guys, I am trying. And God knows I am trying. I am trying my best. And then there's also the other part of the time difference. South Africa is one hour ahead of Nigeria. So my rest and sleep pattern currently is completely messed up. It's in the bin. It's in the trash can right now. So guys, I'm really trying my best to show up and give you all my best. And at the same time, I'm also trying not to break down, because at times like this, it's very easy for me to break down, but you guys never know because I never tell you. So please bear with me. I am not being lazy. I am not being too comfortable. All right. I'm actually really pushing a lot. Okay. And for those of you that actually appreciate my effort, I appreciate you back. Thank you all so much. I will do better. I will put in more effort than the effort I am putting in now to deliver. All right. Gloria has not slacked. We'll never slack. We're still on game. All right. Now, all of that out of the way, let's get into the business of this video. Now, if you missed out on my previous video, trust me, even if you watch this one, you totally need to go back and watch the other video, because a lot happened last night and I did an over 30-minute video to give you every single detail without missing anything about everything that happened last night. So please make sure you watch it, all right? Well, just to give you a hint, the housemates had a confessional. Yeah, more like an open confessional. It was meant to be a game, like a fun game, probably a truth or dare type of game, as organized by Papa Ghost. Whilst all of that was happening yesterday, the head of house, Mitch, who never jokes with his sleep time, was fast asleep. So he wasn't present when people were saying a lot. But this morning, we realized that this guy actually had a lot on his chest to say, especially about the loss of their wager. I mean, of course, he's the head of house and he was expecting that it to be a badge of honor for him if he, as the head of house, the first head of house of the season, won the first wager task of the season. So Biggie had instructed the housemates to go stay in the garden. Yeah, the usual routine in Big Brother's house. And they had all gathered in the garden. And that was where Mitch started pinpointing people he felt were responsible, you know, for the loss of their wager. And they singled out two people especially, Papa Ghost and Lerato. Mitch said that even if he is the one wearing the badge, that he's not the head of house because it seems like Papa Ghost has completely taken over. The Papa Ghost is literally the head of house. And then Lerato is vice president. That Lerato is actually even the cause, you know, of them losing their wager because she's always so bossy, bossing people around, commanding people. This guy was complaining. And you see, guys, I've told you all before about the way the likes of Mitch, Makeke and Bravo B speaks. Yeah, they're not very coherent, right? And they don't really have fluency of the English language. So for Mitch especially, it's a struggle. It's a struggle. And I think he stutters a bit. And so he speaks really fast. You can barely keep up sometimes with the things that he's trying to say. Even the housemates in the house, sometimes they don't understand what he's saying. So when he was speaking, he had this smile on his face, or smirk, whatever. But you could tell that he was actually serious. Because I was looking at this guy and I'm like, bro, this is some serious, I don't know, should I call it manipulation or emotional blackmail right now? Because clearly, you are the one that's been delegating your duty to Papa Ghost. You're the one that's been instructing him to call for meetings, to help with the task, to do everything. And now you are blaming him after you are the one that sleeps the most in the house. Because guys, Mitch is actually the one that sleeps the most in the house. Of course, he's got the head of house lounge to himself. Sometimes Fahima sleeps on the same bed with him. But this guy is always very quick to go to bed. Even in the afternoon, he has to have like a beauty nap. So when he was blaming, like just playing the blame game, I was quite offended on behalf of Papa Ghost. But Papa Ghost, you know, just took it lightly as a joke. Lerato took it as a joke, you know, just because of peace to reign. And frankly, my regard for Papa Ghost and Lerato actually increased because if they wanted to take it up with Mitch, they've got all the evidence they need. They just let it slide. Now, after Mitch spoke, different housemates from, you know, different angle, they were just laying blame. This one will say, oh, it's because people that are very vocal, you don't allow people that are not vocal to speak. Makeke even came with what he has been saying since on Monday, or Tuesday rather, that, oh, you people that are always very vocal and always speaking, and there are people in this house that have ideas, but because people are always the ones speaking, they don't want to speak, so give people a chance. And guys, I will still say what I've always been saying. This is a game, or rather a competition that these people are in. This is not a primary school where the teacher is going to give everybody a chance to express themselves. If you can't express yourself, who's going to do it for you? Who is your dad? Who's your mommy in that house? Now, in as much as Makeke has a point, I still disagree that people that are vocal should be quiet so that people that have ideas should express. If you have an open your mouth and speak. It's a jungle in there. It's a jungle in that house. So people should shrink so that others will learn to shine. Really? I mean, guys, I was quite offended once again with Makeke's own opinion, or should I say perspective, to seeing things. And I just like, no, bro, sit this one out. Nobody's going to shrink for you to shine. This is a huge platform. If you have something to sell, sell it and see if people are going to buy it. Instead of waiting for your housemate, your fellow housemate, to give you a chance. Are they supposed to pave the way for you? Are they supposed to open the doors for you to walk through? So everybody spoke, and quite frankly, it was quite similar to what a lot of people were talking about last night. I just felt like most of these housemates, they just like hearing the sound of their voice, but I can't really blame them because, hey, they have to be vocal. Yeah, they need to be heard. So even the ones that know that something has been said before, they will just repeat it again, just for the sake of, let me talk, so it not look as if I did not talk. But then the likes of Z and Mac Jr. remained mute. What do they call them? The disruptors, aside Taki, were quiet as well. What's his name again? I always forget. Mac Jr. as usual, maintained a distance from the circle so that he could watch everybody clearly. And I think it's a very good observing technique. But then the problem, yeah, okay, first of all, let me explain that. It's a good observing technique because you get like a wide angle view, like a 360 view of everybody except yourself, right? So meaning the focus is not really on you at that point in time when people are talking. It's on the people that are actually standing and talking, and you can see the person talking, and you can also capture the reactions of every other person around, you know, in that gathering. But then the downside to it is, I feel like when nobody is speaking and they're looking for somebody else to speak, all attention is sort of drawn to you, that are singled out yourself, you know, that sort of isolated yourself from the pack. And at some point, I feel like Mark Jr. thought about that. So he moved his distance and got closer. But he was not particularly inside the circle, but still outside the circle. Guys, I was just observing this guy. I'm like, this guy, you are so smart. You're so smart. Yeah. And I'm still kind of worried for him. I still feel like this is smartness has already made him a target. Yeah. People are talking already about his rap lines because the housemates paid attention to the lyrics of his rap and they were like, wow, this guy's actually threatening us. Now, it wasn't everybody actually, but some of them, they've been thinking about it really hard. Now, just as much as Papa Ghost is very vocal and very assertive, is a target already, Mark Jr. just as well might be a major target. Guys, what do you think? Let me know in the comment section below. As I mentioned before, almost everybody spoke, aside the housemates I mentioned that were actually quiet, yes. Mpumi had spoken several times. He's spoken about consideration, respect for people, blah, blah, blah. But then she now made mention of part of the conversation she had with Lerato last night. So she had mentioned, like, okay, she had tried to clear the air about that speech that she gave, you know, calling everybody fake. Yeah. So she had tried to clear the air by saying that, oh, she does not actually mean it in a derogatory way. That what she was actually trying to say is that people are not, you know, really opening up, blah, blah, blah. And I still maintain that, nah, girl, you probably had too much alcohol and your tongue was loose and you said what you said. So you cannot try to, you know, deflect from what you actually said and meant. Leave it that way. But she still tried to clear the air. But it was also very obvious that people were not really buying it because they actually got the message already as at yesterday. But Yolanda spoke up and told her that, that it was yesterday that she really liked her because of the speech she gave. Because guys, mind you, in that speech, she wasn't telling the housemates that they were fake wasn't the only thing she said. She had actually advised everybody to play their game. She's not there to kiss ass. It was actually motivational, right? But that line, that punchline in the speech, it was quite heavy for the likes of Lerato. Now, she had also mentioned the Lerato's observation, right, of her cooking, that she's quite wasteful. So she was like, oh, somebody told me last night that I'm very wasteful. It made me very sad. It made me cry, blah, 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 blah. Do you guys think I'm wasteful? And I'm like, well, I don't know how I feel about that. I kind of felt really bad, to be honest, because I felt like Lerato did her a favor by calling her aside, away from the general, right, to address that issue, because that was her own observation. She addressed it privately. And she asked Mpumi last night, do you have anything to say? Mpumi said a lot, but then she said they were good, they were cool, and they shook hands and they went their separate ways. Only for Mpumi to bring the matter again. And Lerato was sitting right beside her. And she was bringing it up and was playing the victim card. And Lerato was looking at this girl like this and moving her face. And guys, I was so glad that Lerato did not react, because it would have resulted into something else. But at the same time, I was not really happy that Lerato did not react, because I expected Lerato to say something like, girl, that's you breaking the girl code right now, or not even being considerate. I gave you that grace and consideration last night by taking you away from the crowd to have these concerns I have as a private conversation, but you bring it out to the public for everybody to judge me. Because everybody was now like, no, because of course, Mpumi is the one that cooks regularly for them. So they were taking Mpumi's side, oh, no, you're not wasteful. Yolanda, that one, and that's the way you actually cook. Don't allow anybody tell you otherwise. And Lerato was there like the bad person. And guys, I'm like, oh, wow, the mental fuckery this season. I'm just gonna try to remove myself from it because I don't want anybody to tamper with my mental health as well, because these housemates are crazy. They are crazy. Anyways, finally, the conflict between Pale and Yolanda. Now, during the meeting, Mali, who's usually sort of quiet, had a lot to say and even complain about the way people, get a bit aggravated and overly sort of aggressive, when it comes to food, i.e. Yolanda, the way people like that, Yolanda, right, just get into the kitchen and then like, where's my food, like there's so much entitlement mentality going on in the house, and people don't even show appreciation, at least that, oh, there are people that are taking it upon themselves to cook, and those people themselves don't even bother to cook. They don't even help. They don't do anything in the kitchen. They just wait for food. And when there's a mistake about maybe somebody taking someone's food and the food is not enough for someone else, they really get so angry and they cause a fuss. So she actually mentioned Yolanda's name and they talked about it. Now, Pale, it seems, decided to come from a motherly approach, talking about regard, that, oh, Yolanda sort of disregarded Mpumi whilst Mpumi was cooking. That what had happened was Mpumi was in the kitchen cooking, people were hungry, people were waiting. Then Yolanda came into the kitchen and took eggs and whatever and was making food for herself, and she did it with an attitude. And Yolanda was like, no, the reason I did that was because, one, I was hungry and everybody was waiting, but then I saw you in the kitchen, you were eating sandwich and nobody else was eating at that point in time. You, Mpumi, you, Pale, was the only person eating. And guys, that moment was so funny because Pale was sort of taken aback. It was like she had been caught in the act without even knowing. And she was like, no, that the sandwich did not belong to her. That was somebody else's sandwich. That somebody did not finish their food and then they had kept it. It was going stale, so she had eaten it. So it wasn't like she just sat down and prepared food to eat. And Mali had actually seconded what Pale had said. But Yolanda was adamant. She was like, no, this is that. So it became like a back and forth. And nobody was listening to anybody at that point in time. So Yolanda got up and left. According to her, it's your own opinion if you think I disregarded Mpumi, but I did not. She walked out. And Pale was upset because she expected Yolanda to sit down for them to have that conversation. So she was upset and she was telling the other people that were there that, oh, Yolanda has issues with her. At that moment, actually, the meeting had already ended, but Pale was still talking and she was dragging the talk. And quite frankly, I was happy that Yolanda walked out because, guys, truth is, these housemates are still strangers. They've only spent, 4 days? Yeah, and if maybe 5 nights, if I'm not getting my calculations wrong. They don't really know each other. Yes, they've spent time, 24 hours together this past few days, but they don't know each other yet. They only know what they are seeing or what their fellow housemates are actually portraying for them to see and what their fellow housemates are actually telling them to know about them. There are still things that these people are actually hiding that are probably still their authentic self that they are yet to reveal, So telling somebody that, oh, you did XYZ when you yourself, you're not innocent of it, I just felt like that was a stretch. And that situation between Pale and Yolanda has been a major conversation today in the house, yes. Willie and some of the guys, they had noticed it and they were like, oh my God, they were just trying to make peace with everybody earlier. But now, look, another issue has started. And even talking about the issue of peace, it was quite funny when the meeting was happening and some people were talking about if somebody offends you, tell the person, I'm like, where do you guys think you are again? Do you think you are in Sunday service in church? Do you think you are in church? Like, did people come here to, like sing Kumbaya or what? I'm like, these housemates, somebody was even talking about, I think it was Bravo B that was talking about, no, it was Willie that was talking about they should learn to manage their anger. Like, they should not be prone to anger. I'm like, bro, it's okay if you tell people to learn to manage their anger, but it's not okay to tell them not to get angry. People definitely get angry. People definitely get mad. For real, guys, I foresee a lot of problems beginning from this weekend into the future already. These housemates, I feel like, with the exception of maybe Papa Ghost, Lerato, Z, Sinaye, and Mark Jr., overall, I feel like the rest are forgetting that they're actually dealing with their fellow competitors. I feel like they've actually forgotten that any and every conversation is an avenue to expose a flaw, a weakness, an inadequacy. And it's also a tool to strengthen someone else's strategy. I feel like they've lost sight of that, or they've forgotten. But anyways, I look forward to seeing how everything plays out in the coming weeks. In the meantime, please let me know your thoughts about all that has been said here in the comment section below, and I will see you guys on another episode of Frankly Speaking with Gloria Elijah. Thanks for watching and have an amazing day. Bye.